What is up, everybody? So we're going back and having a look at what was being printed in the press at the time of Steven Avery and Brendan Dassey's arrest, and what was being printed at the time their trials were currently going on. I have done a number of these before, and I will link the playlist in the description below if you want to go back and have a look. Now, this one doesn't actually have anything to do with the Teresa Halbach case, the murder case at all. This is from the Madison Capital-Times, and it has to deal with something that Steven Avery was dealing with outside of the murder case. The headline for this article from May 2nd, 2006 reads, "No Avery Cash for Madison Lawyer. A lawyer has lost a fight for legal fees in Avery's $400,000 settlement against authorities who imprisoned him for 18 years for a crime he didn't commit. The Madison attorney filed paperwork in March saying he's entitled to 40% of the settlement, or $160,000, because Avery signed a contract in 2003 allowing his firm to represent him in the case. That same day, Steven Avery hired Milwaukee attorney Walt Kelly, who ended up representing Steven Avery in the case in federal court that lasted 2 years. A U.S. district judge issued a decision Friday claiming that the Madison lawyer was not entitled to collect any of the settlement. The Wisconsin Supreme Court rules of professional conduct for attorneys say a client may discharge a lawyer at any time. The lawyer from Madison admitted he did not do any work on the case. He did not return a call to respond to the judge's decision. So essentially, he wanted $160,000 for doing absolutely nothing on the case. He did say, however, if he won the settlement, he would give all of the money to the Halbach family. So that was interesting that Steven Avery was getting sued by another attorney at the same time all of this was going on. Now, this one comes from the Madison, Wisconsin State Journal and is from May 13th, 2006. Judge rules confession admissible. Prosecutors can use Brendan Dassey's statements in the Halbach murder case. Man, it is infuriating that the judge allowed this to be used in court against Brendan Dassey. Just absolutely ridiculous. A 16-year-old boy who investigators say confessed to raping and killing a woman with his uncle will decide whether he wants his case to go to trial after a judge Friday ruled prosecutors can use his statements as evidence. Manitowoc County Circuit Court Judge Jerome Fox ruled investigators properly questioned Brendan Dassey in a 3-hour videotaped interview. March 1st, Brendan Dassey's attorney Len Kaczynski had argued investigators coerced the teen, described by his mother as a slow learner, into making involuntary statements. Brendan Dassey and his uncle Steven Avery are charged with the killing of 25-year-old photographer Teresa Halbach. Steven Avery, 43, gained notoriety when he was freed from prison in 2003 after serving 18 years for a crime he did not commit. The judge said he reviewed video, audio, and transcripts of Brendan Dassey's statements, which he sealed to prevent publicity that could taint a jury pool. Statements made by Brendan Dassey to investigators were the product of Brendan Dassey's free and unconstrained will, reflecting deliberateness of choice. Man, that is the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, this judge is the worst, the absolute worst. Kaczynski said he and Dassey would look at their options, including making a deal with prosecutors. This is an extremely important decision that a 16-year-old is going to have to make. I can give him advice, but ultimately it's his decision. Len Kaczynski said the only way prosecutors could use Dassey's statements at trial is if Dassey is available for cross-examination. He said he would talk to his client about that possibility. After the hearing, Halbach's brother Mike called the ruling a big victory. "We know that one individual involved probably will be put in jail now. At least that is my belief," Mike Halbach said. Dassey's attorneys had filed a motion asking the judge to amend the teen's $250,000 cash bail to allow family property to be posted. Special prosecutor Ken Kratz asked the judge to postpone a decision because he received new forensic evidence 2 days ago that he needed to consider. The judge agreed and set another hearing for May 26. The judge also agreed to Ken Kratz's request to seal new evidence. Kratz told the judge he would likely ask for increased bail for Dassey because of the new evidence. Len Kaczynski said the new evidence wasn't a smoking gun, though some of it supported Dassey's statements. Len Kaczynski said he has won a few cases in which his clients confessed, but never with a videotaped confession. Man, reading that is absolutely infuriating. I don't know how anybody can look at, read, see, listen to those videotaped so-called confessions and say that Brendan Dassey wasn't coerced. Just some of the dumbest stuff I've ever seen, heard, listened to, read, everything. Just absolutely ridiculous. This one is from May 14th, 2006, and it is from the Madison, Wisconsin State Journal. It is again about the death penalty. Death penalty vote likely. A vote in the Senate this week is expected to give death penalty advocates the statewide advisory referendum on reinstating the death penalty in certain cases where the conviction is supported by DNA evidence. Republicans pushed for the referendum from the September primary to the November general election with the hopes of helping GOP turnout. The issue is guaranteed to get plenty of attention with the trial of Steven Avery expected to begin this fall in Manitowoc County. They're absolutely trying to bring back the death penalty for Steven Avery, which is absolutely insanity, because the only reason, in my opinion, that they are bringing back the death penalty or wanted to bring back the death penalty for Steven Avery is so that they could kill him. So what is going on right now would never come out. What everybody did, what everybody allegedly did in this case to Brendan Dassey and Steven Avery would never come out. They wouldn't have to deal with this. The Making a Murderer documentary may have still aired, but it would not have gotten as much attention as it did, likely, if Steven Avery had been executed by the state. That's my opinion. What do you think? Let me know. Leave some comments below. I hope you're having a good day, and I will see you again soon.